Once upon a time, in a quiet little school where the afternoon sun used to rest gently on the classroom windows, there was a young woman named Nethra. She was not the loud type, not the one who raised her hand first, not the one everyone noticed, but inside, inside there were storms. If you had seen her that day, sitting in the last bench, books neatly arranged, pen held a little too tight, you would have thought she is perfectly fine. But she was not, because sometimes the biggest battles are the silent ones. Nethra was an adult now, someone who people believed should already know how to handle pressure. Teachers assumed she should have been strong by now. Friends believed she would be confident, but only she knew the truth. Every time exams were announced, her heart felt heavy. Every time marks were discussed, her stomach twisted. Every time someone asked, "How much did you score?" Her smile had been practiced, but her heart quietly broke. She didn't just want good marks. She wanted perfect marks, and that slowly, quietly has been eating her peace. You see, some children fear of failure, but Nethra, she feared disappointing people. Her father, especially. He never shouted. He never compared. He never said harsh words. But maybe that was the problem, because when someone gentle believes in you, the pressure sometimes feels heavier. Every night, when the house was quiet and the clock were ticking loudly on the wall, she would have her books open in front of her, but her mind somewhere else. What if I forget in the exam? What if others score more? What if all my hard work is not enough? These thoughts, they have been visiting her again and again, like uninvited guests, and slowly her sleep has been disappearing. Her smile has been fading. Her peace had been slipping away. One evening, something small happened. Small from outside, but big, very big, inside her heart. She was sitting at the dining table, pretending to study. The same page had been open for almost 20 minutes. Her father noticed. Of course, he noticed. Fathers, they always do. He didn't speak immediately. He just watched quietly for a moment. The way her shoulders were stiff, the way her fingers were restless, the way her eyes were reading but not really seeing. Then gently, very gently, he pulled a chair and sat beside her. "Nethra," he said softly. She looked up quickly. Appa?" He smiled. Not the questioning smile, not the worried smile, just warm. "I have been watching you these days," he said, and something inside her froze. Because when someone says that, you suddenly wonder, how much have been they noticing? How much were they understanding? She tried to sound normal. "I am just studying, Appa." He nodded slowly. "Yes, you are studying." Then he asked quietly, "But tell me one thing, are you learning or just worrying?" That question, it didn't hit loudly. It landed softly, but deeply, very deeply. For a few seconds she didn't speak, because the truth, she herself didn't know where the line between studying and worrying was crossed. Her father didn't push, didn't lecture, didn't give a motivational speech. Instead, he did something unexpected. He closed her book. Gently. "Come," he said. She blinked. "Where?" He stood up. "You will have to trust me for 10 minutes. Unwillingly, confused, but too tired to argue, she followed him. They walked to the small balcony of their house. The evening air was cool. The sky were slowly turning orange. Children were playing somewhere far away. Life was simply moving. Her father leaned on the railing. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then he said quietly, "When I was your age, I thought marks would be everything." She turned slowly. He rarely spoke about his younger days. "I used to believe," he continued, "that if I don't score high, my future would have been finished." Nethra's eyes softened, because for the first time, she didn't feel alone in this feeling. Her father took a slow breath. "But life, it teaches differently." He looked at her now, straight, gentle, honest. "Marks are important, yes. Effort is also important. But discipline, is very important. But peace, he asked softly, that is more important than all of them. Something inside her heart relaxed, just a little, not fully. Healing never happens that fast. That night, something small changed. Not magical, not dramatic, just small. Instead of forcing herself to study for 6 stressed hours, she followed what her father suggested. Study with discipline, he said, not with fear. So she made a simple plan. 1 hour of focused study, 10-minute break, no overthinking, no comparing. First, it felt strange. Her mind would have tried to run back to panic mode again and again. Old habits don't leave easily. Sometimes she would have stared at the clock. Sometimes she should have been concentrating. But her thoughts wandered. Sometimes she felt this method would be too simple to work. But still, she continued. Not perfectly, just honestly. Days passed. Slowly, quietly. And something interesting started happening. Her body has been feeling lighter. Her sleep has been improving. Her mind, still worried sometimes, but not constantly. One evening, while solving a difficult problem, she noticed something surprising. She understood it faster. Not because she suddenly became a genius, but because her mind were calmer. That moment, that small, silent moment, was her turning point. She looked up from her book. Her father were sitting across the room, reading his newspaper. "Appa," she called softly. He looked up. Yes, for the first time in many weeks, her voice carried something new. Relief. "I think this is working." He didn't celebrate loudly. Didn't say, "I told you." He just smiled. Because he knew real growth will have been quiet. Weeks later, exams came. And yes, her heart still beat faster. Her palms still felt a little cold. Because listen carefully, confidence doesn't mean fear disappears. It just means fear no longer controls you. This time, when she sat in the exam hall, she took one slow breath, just like her father taught. One question at a time, one step at a time. No racing thoughts, no panic storms, just steady discipline. Results day arrived. And here is the honest truth. She did score high, but more importantly, she was smiling peacefully. Not the forced smile, not the nervous smile, a real one, because something inside her had been healed. That evening, she sat beside her father again. "Appa," she said softly, "I finally understood." He raised his eyebrows playfully. "Oh, what big discovery." She smiled. "Motivation comes and goes," she said, "but discipline, it stays." Her father's eyes warmed, because that was the lesson he quietly hoped she would have learned. So, listen to me carefully. My friend, if you are someone who have been carrying silent academic pressure, if your nights have been restless, if your mind has been louder than your books, please remember this. High marks will be easier when your mind is peaceful. And discipline will have the power to carry you forward even on days when motivation is sleeping. Because motivation is a feeling, but discipline is a decision you repeat daily. And if no one has been telling you this lately, you don't need to destroy your peace to prove your worth. You just need small, steady, honest steps. Every single day. If the story touched your heart even a little, if you saw a piece of yourself in Nethra, then don't keep it to yourself. Like the video, share in comments, I choose discipline, and subscribe, because this channel will be your quiet place of strength.